speak a great deal, and I'm speaking out in Huntsville, Alabama, and I'm looking forward to it because it is a conference that's a home business conference, and it's geared to homeschoolers that are graduating. There's going to be about 400 or so young people there talking about at this business conference, along with I'm sure parents and others. So it's a very, very large conference. It's at the Holiday Inn Research Park in Huntsville, Alabama, and I think it gets underway about noon. And I'm really looking forward to speaking on some leadership issues, some things that are obviously things that we need our young people to be concerned about. So I'm very excited about that. For all the speaking I do, I very seldom get an opportunity to speak to young people that are going in, that have made a decision to go into business for themselves, maybe, or enter into the workforce. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time. So I look forward to that, and I appreciate being invited. Let's see. Should we markets? Something's wrong. What do you have the Dow, Devin? Can you take a look? Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. I got it. Dow's down 40. Big change. Dow's down 40 right now. And again, I guess it is just everybody contemplating the news. Bank of America is falling under scrutiny. Bank of America, J.P. Morgan falling under scrutiny on a number of issues. There's some lawsuits that are suing these companies for their mortgage-backed security sales. It's very similar to what happened to Prudential as a matter of fact, what happened to Prudential is the reason I went on the radio. It's interesting. And we've got a very similar situation happening that they're falling under scrutiny. That might have something to do with it. Remember this, folks, when we see financial sectors coming under scrutiny, remember that the financial sectors is about 22% of the markets. The markets are dramatically impacted by financial moves. So that might have something to do with it as well. So we've got I'm not saying that's it. There is some other there's some bad earnings reports coming out of retailers primarily. There is a report coming out on high-frequency traders getting fined over what is called wash trades. I won't go into that. It's kind of a complicated process. But nevertheless, that's going to weigh. There's more and more scrutiny coming in over the stock market. I wish they were spending a little bit of time scrutinizing the Bureau of Labor Statistics and the Department of Labor as they are the market. But, that's not going to happen. But nevertheless, very, very interesting. The average checking account has 30 different fees. Did you know that? I didn't know that. 30 fees. If you wonder why banks are making so much money. Anyway, you're listening to Financial Issues. We're going to take a few more phone calls. 866, we've got a couple lines open. 866-300-9298. 866-300-9298. We are going to be live. We're going to be live today at noon. We are going to be live today at noon on American Family Radio. If you want to tune into our noon program, we don't always do it live, but we're going to be live at noon over on our music affiliates, American Family Radio. So you can tune in to that if you can bear another hour of me. Poor Devin and a couple others, they have no choice. But you do have a choice. I bet you can just turn me off, turn the channel. It's a wonderful thing. Anyway, let me go to, what's that, Devin? Oh, and you can listen online, of course, at afr.net if you want to do that. Let me go to Lisa. Lisa calling us from Ohio. Hey, Lisa.
Hey, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. I have a question for you. I am considering a move. I sold my house, and it was too much for me to take care of. I'm a single gal, and I've been looking for a job in my small town, haven't been able to find one, and so I've been thinking about moving to a bigger city. And my question is, do I buy a condo because I don't want to go back to a house? It's just too much to take care of. Or do I rent? I don't have a job down there yet. I don't have a job at all right now. And I'm I just don't know what to do, and I want some advice.
How old are you, Lisa? If you don't mind me asking.
I am 57, soon to be 58.
So, will you have equity in your home when you sell it? You gonna?
Yeah, this house is already sold. I'm actually staying with a friend
Okay.
because I'm kind of vacillating back and forth. And it's not that I am destitute,
Sure.
but I don't want to. I don't know if I'm going to like it down there, and I don't. I just don't. There's so many unknowns. I'm saying, gee, do I buy or because
Well-
that way you build your equity. I know that,
Right.
and if you rent, you don't have anything to show for the money, and I hate wasting my money. I don't have it to,
Here's what you need to do. You definitely need to have a mindset that you're going to buy. But I would not buy when you move. I would not buy until you're settled. I would rent for probably a year or two because you have this money from your house. Keep it set aside. Understand that is the money you're going to use to buy a condominium someday. I certainly wouldn't buy a house, but buy a condominium someday or something small. And I definitely want you to buy. I think it's important that you do buy. I just don't want you to do it in the next year or two. So I wouldn't want you to move somewhere, and buy. I want you to move somewhere and rent for a period of time. But here's the thing, the goal should be, I want your goal to be, Lisa, that someday, maybe late into my retirement, maybe it's age, 65, 70, whatever it is, that you're not going to have any kind of payments. You're going to own your home. Maybe you have enough equity from this house to buy a condominium cash. Nobody but me would tell you to do that. But, maybe you have an opportunity to do that. And because the goal is you can't be dependent on your retirement income to be paying rent. It's better that you are paying taxes and insurance only. So I want you to buy for sure. I just don't want you to do it in the next 2 years.
All right. Well, that makes me sick because I was kind of leaning towards that, but I've had a realtor looking for me for something,
Yeah.
That's what they do, and he found one.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh no, I don't know if this is a bright idea for me to jump right in, not even having a job down there,
Yeah.
So,
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Just make your mind up that you're going to rent for the next year or two, and start looking for an apartment.
there you go. Hey,
All right.
Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Thanks, Lisa. I appreciate it. Let me go to Jeff. Jeff's calling us from Missouri. Hey, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, Dan. Good morning.
Good morning.
I like listening to your show, and I have a question for you. My mom is 78 years old, and she's on an income that my dad had when he was alive, a pension from Ford Motor Company. She doesn't seem to have a lot of money, and she talks as if she really doesn't have lots of money in the bank, but she does have 400 acres of land.
Mm-hmm.
And she rents out a section of that across from her house to people to put their cattle on and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But there's at least probably 250 acres plus that just sits year after year. She pays, taxes on it year after year, and that's kind of hard on her. And I know she wants us to have from what she has when she passes on. And I just wonder, what is it she should think about doing or be doing now to guarantee that happens?
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you called. Is she in good health, Jeff?
She's in fair health.
Okay. Well, how many siblings do you have?
There's just two of us.
Okay. I mean, the ideal situation, Jeff, would be that right now, she would, and I mean like this year, she would be agreeable to redeeding the property in her name and you and your brother or sister's name. So there would be three people on the deed. And that she would do that this year.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be your first order of business. I don't know how what she'll feel about that, but here's what you need to tell her. because this might help her, think through that and do the right thing.
Okay.
You need to tell her that at some point in time when the Lord calls her home, that you and is it a brother or sister?
Brother.
So that you and your brother are going to be facing an enormous tax bill for this property. And unfortunately, you guys are going to be forced to sell a portion or all of it just in order to pay the tax bill. And you don't want to do that. You want to have the opportunity to either keep it, subdivide it, maybe you'll sell it eventually, but you'll sell it down the road. And so the best way you can do that, and the reason I asked if she was in good health, is that there's a 5-year look back period. Okay, so if your mother were to go into a nursing home, let's say, over within the next 5 years and end up on Medicaid would have a right to go back and say, well, she's got this property. She gifted 2/3 of it away to you guys, but we have a right to go back and capture that because they call it deathbed giving, as if she knew she was going to be in a nursing home. But that's what they do. The ideal situation that it would be in just both of your names, but if she would feel more comfortable having her name on it too, because she's afraid you and your brother are going to throw her off the land or something, but anyway, so that would be the ideal situation. The other thing you can do is put it into a trust. But either way, it's going to involve redeeding the property in names, which means there's going to be a transfer tax. And the transfer tax is going to be 1%. So the procedure goes like this. You got to contact a real estate attorney. You got to give the real estate attorney a copy of the current deed for the property. He's going to take that and he's going to redo the deed so that your names are on it. And he's going to go to the recorder of deeds in the county. He's going to file the new deed. And when he does that, they're going to pull out the tax assessment on the property. And whatever the tax assessment says, so let's say it says the property's worth, $100,000 or whatever it is. He's going to pull that, and there's going to be a transfer tax of 1%. Now, sometimes it's more than that. Sometimes it's 2%. Sometimes there isn't anything. But 90% of the times it's 1%. So you'll have to pay a 1% transfer tax, and you'll have to pay, I don't know, $800-900 for the lawyer to redo this deed. So even if you and your brother had to pay that, it would be well worth it, to do that. So that's how you proceed. If you set up a trust, it's going to cost you about $3,000 to set up a trust, and you're still going to have to retitle the deed in the name of the trust, and then you're still going to have to pay the transfer tax. So it's you're not really saving anything by setting up the trust at this point. Did you follow all that?
I did. We were talking to her about maybe she should sell that 250 acres or whatever it is and just kind of keep the pasture land that she's, renting out and say, why not just sell the other? And then I would, of course, call and ask you what to do with that income,
Yeah. Yeah. That's certainly if she's, I thought you said she wants to really try to hold on to it for all of you.
Well,
but
no,
if she's,
I think she has wavered on what
okay.
makes the best sense.
Okay.
Should she keep it and try to give it or just sell it and then kind of work with that?
If it's subdivided already, or it can be easily, yeah, I would not have any problem selling it if that's okay with you. There's going to be a large capital gains that you're going to have to pay on that sale, but it'd still be worth doing if she's okay doing that. You can't avoid the only way you can avoid the capital gains is if it's subdivided, give that piece of property to a charitable trust. And the charitable trust would be in your name, in you and your brother's names and your mother's. And you can transfer the deed to the charitable trust, gift it. Then the charitable trust sells it. Your family charitable trust sells it, and there's no capital gains tax There's no tax at all on it. And all that money goes into the charitable trust. But the only thing you and your brother are going to get from that, and your mother, the only thing you're going to get from that is an income for the rest of your lives. It's going to be a significant income, but it'll be an income for the rest of your lives on their property. So that's another option. But yeah, I'd be all for selling. I think that makes sense. Thanks, Jeff. I got to run. I'm right up at the end of the program. I hope to hear back from you. If you have questions on any of that, give us a call. That's what we're here for. You're listening to American Family Radio, Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. I want to thank Devin Patrick, our producer, Ann Reed, our on the phones, and Emily Halter on video production. Sure appreciate them. Remember, folks, all that you have is his. Let's be found a good and faithful steward. Have a great day. God bless.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under.
American Family Radio, AFR Talk.
Battles are being waged on many fronts in an attempt to destroy the definition of marriage, kill the unborn, and steal the innocence of our children. But the American Family Association is determined to remain on the front lines in order to stand in the gap for you and your family. You can help when you stop by afa.net and click on Donate, or make a $10 donation simply by texting the letters AFA to the number 20222.